They're basically already inside.
This is what I talked about with BDS. Sometimes they'll see an opportunity and decide to take it. Shaiko on the Ash finds the first, or actually has the cover as Playday gets the lock in. They've got the kit. They're going to keep pushing around the side, get a second drop down there on the far side. Don't want to overextend. Not going to go for the blood. Instead for the plant itself, the hatch is being broken above the side of blue. Shaiko with the cover, the swing round gets dropped, but it's a post plant. Now with all the hatches locked in, there's at least one more for the side of BDS. It's a 3 versus 2, and Milan finds himself late to the party. He gets almost the stretch and extension. They've tucked themselves around into the far corner, always has the pickup. With the last of that now, Renshiro, all that's left, holding off this front line that's being pushed. The first is his, the second just sees the barrel of the gun. The third has slipped his way through, but reveals themselves with the spray through. 17 seconds though, just misses the head, the pop, the shoulder, then a shimmy round on the other side. Milan is a hell of a player in these sort of engagements. He's just going to see if he can hold off now as we pass the threshold. Misses the fight, and BDS with a Renshiro 1 versus 3 technical clutch, but time is that 6th man, and it comes through there. Oh no, for the compliments paid towards the team earlier in their drive towards the site there. It's one of those rarest seen problems. The claw remains safe, tucked in the top of the red line. That gives it a little bit more protection from any of the fragmentation grenades. Not all, but enough. And enough now, 20 seconds. They're putting pressure onto the windows of the site itself. Always still has a back line. That is going to be a mirror window that stays solid. Lems with a huge rotation. It's whether he even makes it towards the site by the time he finally gets there. Up the top of the stairs, the spray comes across the board. It's Playday inside the site, but he gets caught out. It's a 4 versus 1. Lems finally finds the end of the tail. But at that point, the round is theirs. 1-1.
Always wondering as well where Lems was coming
from. The player and just had the crouch to get the angle and the connection with him too. Once again, outsiders have found the 2 opening bodies, puts themselves into the 5 versus 3. The fight is on the site, and it's Renshiro, where he had the moment of magic before. Gets one, gets the spray through, but it doesn't quite have the full connection. Let's take care of that. The Banshee gone. A little bit more peppered pressure as Playday wants to try and tuck himself into the site.
So be careful though, there's a man prone underneath the table that could have a crossfire. Shaiko just runs in and gets taken out. Playday with a refrag coming through. A great frag grenade tossed in by Renshiro. Has a second one. If he manages to land that, that could be game changing. But it's a 1v2 situation for him now. With the L85, there is fire on the other side though. Cannot move through. Needs to wait patiently. 90 seconds. Both his entries are being covered right now by the side of outsiders.
They've got themselves restructured, both of them close to the door. The width is being applied by the hammer. Tries to draw some of this attention. 20 seconds has ticked away at this moment in time, and he doesn't have anything else really to work with apart from the hope. But it doesn't pan out. Outsiders pull into the lead, 2-1.
Just the leg spotted there as the sledge moved through. Who's about to be moving through here, but the timing could not be worse on Always' side there. Watches the door as soon as he gets swung on.
Blinded out by the top. This grenade, I think it might get caught by one more. There it is. They're going to have to put the pressure and swing. They're able to still survive as Leak Effect goes down, but Renshiro's grenade finally pops the final problem player, Shaiko. He's holding off this rotation. They had a cool idea that Dan might have been making the pressure towards the site. They've got Garage, they've got the split. Now they've just got to see if they can try and get it dropped and planted on the far end as smoke pops. And everybody's stacked up by the side. Shaiko goes down in the sprayed engagement, and Dan gets the Lems outside the breach. Suddenly they've lost a lot of control. Renshiro's got to try and find the bite underneath itself. The pick back up will come through, but look at the timer and look at the canisters still painting the plant spot with everything in danger. Dan gets a triple for the round himself, hopped into the smoke. Playday, he cannot stick it there as one more forces him into the guns of Milan. Renshiro up the back stairs gets nothing. And there is a 1 more round for outsiders.
Well done by them there. They knew exactly what they were up against. They lost the garage. What you do after that is stop them from pushing right behind that server stack. At least slightly. He's rotated off here. Looking for a different player, and we'll find Rask as well. Pushing up these back stairs, but they've still left up the roamer, Dan, and he's now going in from below, trying to regain as much ground as possible to see what is truly clear or whatnot.
Milan takes care of Lems outside on the bedroom window itself. They're trying to get some revenge and spraying it towards that little tucked-in area, but Payday's the next to suffer a shoulder of damage. They've got to try and move behind this, and Shaiko gets Milan. As I said, he's the one that pulls the movement and makes things happen. Pasha with the spray through the soft, and there's Dan up the back stairs, gets one more, but they're getting themselves planted on the site itself. Shaiko Well, he said that that's no way to go through. The C4 doesn't quite get the catch, but always gets a kill. Suddenly, it's a 3 versus 1. Shaiko outside. He's the only one left. Gets a rotate and gets a little bit past the fight. Wins it. Hops back out the window, repositions. They're going to see if they can hold on to this kit. The cover's coming through. The play, he's behind the hard wall. He's been able to slip himself through. Gets one more kill. A 1 versus nobody. Dan, wait for the fire. Takes a couple of bits of damage. He had more time than the rush. Put it across the board, but Outsiders pull it back, and Dan the man, he feels back. Dirt, which was otherwise never really a point of pressure, has a couple of bodies in. You can see they're trying to piece it together. Ranchiro is able to get that opener. They have the split, the pressure. Pasha, he's in a very dangerous position as of this moment in time. All of the players are trying to filter their way back, and it's Dan that takes care of Ranchiro. Pasha with the C4 towards the door, doesn't quite get it off in time. Bride slipped his way through. Milan's trying to make the distance, round in the core of it. The impact over the top, cannot get the connection onto Likefak, who gets himself a double here as the follow-up towards the rest of this. Sprayed and dropped, and BDS finally finds something at the start and the end. That half was a sandwich of pain for them. Have the control of that, but they don't quite have that popping off. The mute jammer keeps things solid, and the impact keeps things clean. Swung off there, and Shiro's playing underneath the hatch itself. You're looking at 15 seconds, and Outsiders really have to get a bit of a move on here. They're trying to put pressure down. Shaiko pops his head out around the swing of blue. Milan wants to try and get the pickup on the second fight, but look at the rotation that comes through across the board. It's an absolute slaughter from there. BDS keep blue, keep the round, pull themselves one more back. Luckily, saved by a ping. Is it?
Yes, Bride has been looking over the roof the entire time. Dan will find the first kill onto Alems. It's going to be a second one to come through from Pasha as well. So a 3-on-5, definitely favored here for Outsiders on their attack if they manage to make this stick.
Well, there's Likefak gone. There's Pasha getting Ranchiro as well. Bride, he might have been watching the default cam, but everybody else is dying everywhere else. Outsiders get a couple of plucky picks inside the site and then decide they want to be insiders for the rest of the round. With one body less, they were able to get a really good flurry of fights last time they were on the site. Shaiko doesn't want to quite hand over the territory. He's ready to swing. It pops out. Dan gets one. The second is Shaiko's. Always in the meantime gets Alems. There's Dan. A 2 versus 2. 30 seconds. Back and forth, but technically Outsiders came out top of that engagement. They've been able to rebalance the body count. They've got to recollect the kit itself. They wanted to do just that, put the pressure onto that mirror window, but they're not going to hop and go for the 1 versus 1. Dan can offer some support here. There's the player just tucked around the swing. There's the player that's rotated towards the gym equipment as well for the width. They don't quite know where they are, and there's Bride popping up to prove the point. 5 seconds, 2 players left, and a kit in pocket. A BDS round starts to come around onto this hatch themselves. They're rolling the grenades. They want to try and bounce out, but it's a TK and 2 down. Oh no, that was almost the worst grenade we've ever seen. What a tragedy!
At least one thing we can say is it's lucky that it's no longer the old grenades. That would have definitely killed them all as Ranchiro finds one. The buddy drops through the hatch. There's only 3 more to find right here as they, again, detonate an impact TMP, wanting to open up onto the triple wall right there, provide themselves with an entry onto the direct side.
I mean, they've given themselves a mountain on the back of this. That will be, a tricky moment. And probably an apology cake in the team room later.
Of the side of Outsiders. And Lems is still sneaking about on the staircase though, looking to go for a bit of a retake. Could definitely be detrimental here as Always opens up, but C4 flies out just in time. Finds Always as he walks right in front of it. And Pasha drops now as well. 2-on-4, Rask still quite low. This plan's not looking likely if it will happen. Likefak in the meantime in garage as well, taking heat from multiple different directions. It's going to be that crucial factor later on.
I mean, a pocket full of seconds. One's going to plant, the other's going to try and get it locked down. Not even that. Bride gets the end with a zapping camera. That is not always the kill cam we see.
It's the first time I've seen this particular view as well. They are nimble. They're willing to go for a fight, especially Shaiko, as he digs himself in right behind the A bomb chest. But he needs to be careful because there's players still around the highway, which will catch him eventually.
There it is. Dan has a bit of the cover. They're trying to get themselves rebuilt around at 30 seconds. And with the kit still in Pasha's pockets, they're looking towards the back of that chassis. Renshiro, he's trying to get himself to be that swing player to make sure that they can't do it. Pre-fires and puts the pressure on, but Pasha's on the plant. Always has the cover from the swing. They've got it locked down. They're hoping at the C4. It's just in time. Always gets one more 10 seconds. It's Playday. It's the last clutch factor. We are going to overtime.
We're going to find ourselves with 2 or 3 more rounds before we crown a victor in this matchup here.
Ripped and wants to fly out the open mirror window. Milan pulls himself back. Do they know Renshiro's there? I don't think they do. They're looking towards the hatch. There's a swing and a reveal. Milan's caught from 2 sides. Alem's got the drop on the back line. CC's Alem's next. And there's the difference. A heft DMR can make an engagement. Pasha and always the course the back, but Alem's has one and Shaiko the other. BDS once again 1 foot ahead.
Now Outsiders is not beaten yet, but leaving logistics empty there.
Perfect demonstration of how to get past somebody actively bandit tricking, and now they force them back. But with the body gone, this is something we talked about before, 20 seconds, and they got to try and make things happen now, and they've already been a little bit crumbled. Rask, he's tucked around on the close fight. There's still electricity. There's Likefak swinging onto one side. There's the rest of the wall, but Likefak, oh, he wants to try and take the fight. There it is, locked out a cold kit. There's no way to collect it at this point. BDS, they find themselves with the full 2 points. Outsiders at least scrape 1.
They will continue their unbeaten streak here on Clubhouse, but it did get very close in the end there. Outsiders, they truly put up a fight up until overtime. Then BDS managed to finally end things there with